Sino Tahiri. This is for Ethnic Studies 101. This is about Haitians' struggle, revolution, resistance, and rebirth. I'm going to be diving really deeper into the Haitian Revolution because I just found it highly fascinating and very impactful. So, as the agenda or introduction, I want to just let you guys know before the Haitian Revolution, Haiti, it was really known as Saint Domingo. It was France's most valuable colony due to its sugar and coffee crops. It was really called the Pearl of the Caribbean because it really supplied most of the world's coffee and sugar. But this wealth was at an inhuman price. Almost half a million African slaves worked in harsh conditions on plantations. Their life was really short and punishment was brutal. Meanwhile, individuals were beginning to really consider freedom and equality more at that time due to the horrendous situation they were put in. The French Revolution in 1789, which had begun with the slogan of liberty, equality, fraternity, really gave both the white plantation owners and slave Africans cause to try to gain their own types of freedoms. Meanwhile, the enslaved individuals in Haiti had been resisting for years through small scale rebellions and escapes. By 1791, they were actually ready to fight back in a manner that would really alter history forever. So let's get an introduction to the Haitian Revolution. The revolution started in 1791. However, it did not just happen overnight. Enslaved people had been organizing for months. One of these events was the voodoo ceremony at Bois Cayman, where leaders like Duty Buchanan called for a rebellion. In no time, there were thousands of actually enslaved Africans burning plantations, destroying crops, and really fighting their enslavers. At this time, we really see this massive media change in France where they start to really label everybody saying African slaves cutting off the heads of the white masses, which is just really propaganda over like, and they completely brush over the horrendous situations that slaves were put in. And really, the French colonial authorities were completely caught off guard. They tried to put down the rebellion at first, but the revolutionaries were really determined. One of the most important players in this early battle was Toussaint Louverture, a former slave who quickly became a brilliant military leader. In 1793, France made a monumental choice. They abolished slavery in all their colonies to try to really prevent the rebellion from growing, but the battle for complete independence had just begun. After kind of the France really abolished slavery, the struggle did not cease. The really Haitian Revolution actually had to fight on many fronts. Um, the really major slave battles began in the August of 1791. These were kind of some of the images of the fights. I mean, the treatment of these, there were three battalions that were sent that were in task of trying to shut down the rebellions. They really committed just absolutely war crimes, horrendous crimes against these rebels. They were guerrilla fighters, by the way. The Haitian fighters were using guerrilla tactics to be able to actually beat off the superior weapons that the French had. This was the 1791 uprising. So yeah. So after we see this about this revolution start, we see this kind of resistance of the colonial powers because at that time, France, Spain, and England really just had a battle in between them. They were all fighting together to be able to kind of achieve more land and more power over these areas. And the struggle really didn't cease even after France actually abolished slavery, which was, I believe, in 1794. The Haitian revolutions had to really provide against not just one, but three really formidable powers, which was France, Britain, and Spain. Toussaint Louverture, which I mentioned before, really commanded the struggle, the guerrilla warfare, the political diplomacy to really vanquish these European armies from the area. Louverture had established a constitution in 1801 which made all Haitians free and abolished slavery once and for all. France, however, under Napoleon Bonaparte, did try to reinstate slavery, but they were not willing to. Haiti was not really willing to go under their power. Bonaparte, from my understanding, was really trying to do that as a result of not giving up Haiti. There was a really valuable colonial land that they really wanted to keep. In 1802, however, this large army that Napoleon sent tried to reestablish slavery. They really tried to call the revolution. Louverture, I believe, was arrested and brought to France, where he died in prison, which is really sad. His successor, though, John Jacques Dessalines, nonetheless really continued to fight. He really took the mantles after that. One of the most significant battles in history, the Haitians vanquished the French at the Verteres battle in 1803, and really the Haitian independence was inevitable at that point. So after more than a decade of struggle from 1791 all the way to 1804, they finally achieved this independence on January 1st. Um, the John Jacques Dessalines actually proclaimed Haiti the world's first black republic as a symbolic gesture to bring an end to colonial dominance. He changed the country's name from Saint Domingo to Haiti, invoking the indigenous Taino name. Yet independence came really at a cost. France, the US, and other countries really refused to recognize Haiti for fear that it would really lead to slave rebellions elsewhere, where they would actually uprise in, for example, the US and other parts of South America, because Haiti was really the first in this domino chain. Haiti was isolated and forced to pay huge independence debt to France in 1825, a debt that took over 120 years to pay off and really left the country in economic despair. Despite these reversals, Haiti's revolution has shown that slaves could overthrow their masters and shape their own destinies, become humanized again. So, Haiti's global impact, we really see the Haitian Revolution was not just a victory for Haiti, it changed the world. It provided the hope for enslaved individuals across Americas, from the United States all the way to Brazil, to rise up and demand their freedom. In fact, when enslaved individuals in the U.S. heard about Haiti, some plotted their own rebellions. Figures like Gabriel Prosser and Denmark Vesey were directly inspired by the Haiti success. Haiti also financed Latin America's independence movements like Simone Bovary. The liberator received guns, money, and Haitian troops to free South America from Spain. However, Haiti's victory also horrified a powerful nation. The U.S. did not recognize Haiti until 1862. This is around 50 years later, because it was afraid of recognizing an independent black nation, because it would really cause black Americans to revolt against their slave masters. Today, Haiti's revolution is usually forgotten, yet its influence on freedom movements worldwide cannot be really overstated. The discussion questions that we actually provide are: what are the lasting effects of Haiti's revolution on the country today? It's a phenomenal thing that Haiti was actually the first country to achieve this. Even in the last page, if we go, you see how Haiti was the first one in 1804, and then we see this domino effect across the South Americas, where actually all these other countries receive the same. What made Haiti's fight for freedoms from other revolutions? Um, because like we have to think about the fact that they were actually the first to achieve this, and how they actually set up the symbolic way, and what lessons can we take away from Haiti's struggle for freedom, even now, even in today's world. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day.